and they're betting on themselves. Cody is the best example. Look at what he's doing right now. Right now, other than the All In show that he's running with the Young Bucks, part of the Bullet Club, part of like the furthering and success of the Bullet Club name, former Ring of Honor World Champion, which was a big deal. Now there's something looming over that he might be wrestling for the NWA World Championship at All In. Cody banked on himself, and he's reaping the benefits, and he's succeeding. He's doing very well for himself right now. Juice Robinson did the same thing, and even 3 years ago when he left, him and Cody left kind of, I believe, around the same time. These guys are willingly leaving the company that was like blasphemous. Like, oh, how can you leave WWE? You're not gonna achieve much more than anything that you're doing in WWE. But how do you know that? I'm meaning that as a fan. Like, if you're a fan, how do you know that? If you're just within the WWE bubble and not opening up your eyes and seeing what else is out there, how do you know? Then it almost is like, well, you're not really a fan of the wrestler. You're just a fan of the brand in which they came from. Guys like him and Cody willingly left and are now doing very well for themselves. And I just want to read what Juice Robinson had said. Let's see. He basically made a point of like, oh, NXT, that's what everybody wants to talk about. He said, here's a quote, and I'm reading this from ProWrestlingSheet.com. This is something that Juice Robinson had said. Quote, when I left NXT, Kenyon Seaman told him and said, go out and make yourself a star. Well, by God, it's taken 3 years, but I landed on my feet. That's right, I landed on my effing feet. Adding, quote, that's in the rearview mirror now, and guess what? I ain't going back. I ain't ever going back. It's okay, because guess what? Guys like Cody Rhodes, guys like Kenny Omega, more guys like that, Will Ospreay, the big stars, the big independent stars. And he finished saying, I might not be a star yet, but I'm getting there, so titles do matter, and guess what? I'm doing my damnedest to make myself a star. If you go on Twitter and look it up, it's definitely worth your time to take a look. Because if you're a fan of CJ Parker and NXT, or if you caught a glimpse of him, this is a trend that I think is going to continue. Because even though, let's look at a guy like Austin Aries. I'm pretty sure, despite it being a mutual parting of ways, I'm sure he was willing to leave too. Because, alright, he reached a pinnacle. Alright, now he's betting on himself again. Going out there, making a name for himself, doing these shows, everything. And, now he's Impact World Champion, while that's another big name, or at least a big company in terms of television exposure. He's still doing it out without the WWE umbrella. You look at a guy like, and then, things like people being released or willingly going, and then they work their back in or whatever. You look at McIntyre, Drew McIntyre, you look at EC3, they both were let go by WWE, they recreated their brands and their names, and now they're back on the big stage. And I'm not saying that's the trend is going to continue, that more people are being brought back. Another example, Jinder Mahal got released, now he comes back, he was WWE champion, US champion, and now they're doing well. You're going to look at I believe Kimberly did the same thing in regards of like she got there, okay, and then just left. I think this is a trend that you're going to see more often sooner than later because, the internet's a beautiful thing for pro wrestling. It gives fans a chance to watch different things. You're going to see other big stars. They're going to say, you know what, F it. I'm going to bank on myself, and I'm going to go do this, this, and this, whether it be in Japan, whether it be in other companies. There's going to be a lot of other people that are going to get tired of the way things are in WWE, good, bad, or indifferent, and try and do what so many others have done. Or not so many others, but, a select few have done. And they're getting attention for it. Now, while people will be like, well, Cody's got his dad's name. Okay, that's true. But now but face it, everybody knows him as Cody Rhodes. Working, he's just the American Nightmare Cody. People in the wrestling game know that Rhodes' name and know who Cody Rhodes was in WWE. And he's bringing that attention to himself, which is bringing attention to other companies that he's working for. He's doing pretty damn well for himself. You look at a team like the Young Bucks, who have been courted by the WWE elite, no pun intended, and they're now, they're one of the, again, along with the rest of the Bullet Club. However, while those two, Cody and Kenny Omega, the big stars of the Bullet Club, they've made a name for themselves for a long time, and they're doing really well. So, just because you're not in a WWE machine, and especially this day and age where they're pretty much the monopoly while everyone else is second fiddle, but now with how much people want to watch pro wrestling and everything and things that are not the WWE, it might be in some way harder to court a lot of these big talents to go. I think that might be a thing too. Whether they're wrestling for Ring of Honor, if they get a better television distribution deal, or Impact if they wind up getting their shit together. Even though they've been a lot better in recent months since new management has taken over. So it's a really good time to be a pro wrestling fan. And with G1 coming to the United States and doing their thing, and it really is just a beautiful time to be a wrestling fan. And if you're just strictly a WWE person, I strongly advise you to take a look at other products, because there's a lot more out there, a lot more to be held, and you will not regret doing that one bit. But I'm gonna find a way to watch the G1 special, and I'm gonna watch it, and I will advise you to do the same thing. So, with that being said, I am going to wrap it up for tonight. Thank you all who are tuning in. You can also catch myself and any of the other shows on Spreaker.com/filling_the_void, iHeartRadio, iTunes, or Apple Podcasts, whatever they're called now, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, Player FM, all the like. You can find all the Filling the Void Podcast Network shows as per when I will start doing the weekly shows. It'll be coming up soon, and it'll be on Saturdays, 7 Eastern. It'll be a wrestling Saturday with the Scholars of Wrestling going on Saturday afternoons at around 12 o'clock Eastern, and then my show coming on at night. So be on the lookout on Fill in the Void's Twitter account at Fill in the Void P, at my Twitter account at Kalypso426 for any updates in regards to in regards to when the consistent return of Open Mic Wrestling Night will be going forward. Thank you all for tuning in. Go out and support your local independent wrestling. It's very important to do. Go out and support any wrestling for that matter. That's very important. And I will see you all around next time here on Open Mic Wrestling Night. Have a good night, everybody, and have a